It has truly been a pleasure to be with you today on NATV Network. We have been getting ready for this moment for probably about 10 minutes. Probably about 10 minutes. If you only knew. We have to tell you, it is, it's always awesome to hang out with everybody here. Suzie wanted to make sure to talk with everybody today, so we said, hey, let's put our heads together, we'll make that happen. And so we did. We talked earlier today. We got a surprise visit from Heidi. We got hijacked by Heidi, and hopefully Heidi will be here soon. She came into our green room and surprised us. But hey, mental health in a totally different way. I'm looking forward to talking to you about recovery and a whole lot more. Come on in. You're welcome to be here with us on NATV Network Live. This show is really about SUZIE Network. That's Suzie TV. She's going to tell you what she's got going on this Friday and a whole lot more. Hey, you guys. We love you immensely for taking out of your time to spend so many shows with us. So let's go ahead and have some fun today. Get Suzie in here in just a moment. Appreciate you guys every step of the way. Suzie, I know you're out there somewhere hanging out, waiting for us to get started. Uh-oh, somebody's muted.
Here I am.
There she is, there she is. Trust me, everybody, this was a great deal of planning. We looked at each other and said, let's just improvise. That's kind of the planning
Don't we always?
we had in mind. Yeah, I know. Did. Everybody, you're going to need to see what she's got going on because Suzie is not in the same spot as before. She's at a new location, a new home.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am just, I got to see a peek of it. I am giddy with joy for you and what you've gone through. Recovery, if ever in doubt, everybody should know recovery is possible.
Sure is. I'm living proof of it.
Yeah. You never thought you'd be where you are right now, huh?
Oh, no. I never thought I'd get up out of my bed.
Yeah.
Ever again. And look at me now. Yeah.
I think about the RV. I have to tell you that right now. When we were doing the pre-show, I was thinking about the RV.
The RV, the big old house, the big old empty house where I was literally up in my bed 24/7 and I had that little, what is that thing where you count your steps on my cell phone. I think on a max day, I would take maybe 60 steps, 80 steps a day. And that was back and forth to the bathroom. So that was before the RV. And then I went through the RV, then was saved by my family, then went into the studio. And now I was practicing like the catwalk up and down the hallway. Like it sounds silly.
Top model,
but you know how much
model in the hallway.
You know how much I love music, and now I can actually walk. Like it just feels good. So
that's good. That's good. The studio served its purpose.
Absolutely,
it was a great transition and transformation place for you. And
my college dorm.
Your college. There you go. Your college. Yeah. Yeah,
that's not bad.
That's not bad for a woman that didn't get past the 8th grade, as you said, right?
That's
went straight
right.
to work. Yeah, you left school, went straight to work, and look
15.
The kindness of others and your perseverance. So when someone feels and thinks that all they can do is focus on the narcissist, and that there almost it seems as if there's no hope in any way out, Your words of advice?
That was me. That was absolutely me. I never, I didn't know any other life than being, I mean, 25 years. And then before that, I had, bad relationships. But honestly, I never thought of a future. I couldn't comprehend or fathom that I could even make it out of there. I just accepted that this is where I was going to be. This is where I was going to live my life out, and I was going to make the best of it. And I suffer daily. And I know there's many, many, many women and men out there who stay for the children, for financial reasons. I couldn't work. I had no education. I was stuck, and I just tried to make the best of it. And if it did, my situation didn't get so bad and my family didn't come along and I didn't start researching and find out information of exactly what I was living in, it started to make sense to me. And that's when I started reaching out and I started getting help and I started to realize that, whoa, I'm not alone. This isn't just my life. So many people, I believe, as I lived live in a way where we don't know there is a life out there. And
Yeah.
now
Hmm.
that I'm out of it, I every day is like a new beginning for me. Every day is exciting. Every moment I wake up in the morning now and I'm like, okay, what am I going to do today? Even if it's just the silliest little thing, like I don't know. I got in my new house now, my new little farmhouse. I got little
Yeah.
kitchen, the little rugs that you put in front of the sink. I picked out a
Yeah.
little kitchen
Yeah.
table, like
Yeah.
all these
There it
little
is.
things.
There it is.
That's
I
life.
love it.
I
I
missed
love it.
out on these little moments. These
Yes.
little baby moments
Yes.
are the biggest deal to me now. Honestly, there's really no words to express or explain the difference from where I was in that RV, that moldy, nasty, dirty RV, or before that, alone in that big old house right after my kids moved out,
Hmm.
then into my studio, which was great and it was safe and it felt good and it was clean and new and it kind of gave me my wings a little bit, right? And
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
where I am, and I'm only here what, a week and a half, 2 weeks, not even.
Yeah. I
And
don't.
I
Yes.
feel
Not
like
even 2 weeks, right? Yeah.
not even 2 weeks. I feel like a whole other person again. It's like, what's next?
That's the part that I want to touch on. The what's next?
Mhm,
What is next? Wait. Let's change that. I said it
mhm.
wrong. What's next this week for you?
Exactly. This week. Well, today is Wednesday. Okay, I know I mentioned this as we were speaking, getting everything set up.
Hmm.
First time in 3 years, I
You mean
missed
before we got
Dr.
hijacked by Heidi? So I'm
before we
just,
got hijacked
I
by
had to throw it in. I had to say it.
it was
For
all my
yeah.
fault.
I hope
I love
she.
you,
I hope she
Heidi.
made it. We may need to
She'll
check
be
while we're
here.
doing the show.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
Heidi,
Just
if you're
checking.
here, let us know, please.
She got the
I
wrong link, everybody. So just in case you
well,
popped in, didn't. Anyhow, go ahead. You were saying,
yeah.
please.
Um, sorry, my mind got hijacked right there. What was I saying? Oh, so today is Wednesday, and it's usually my Dr. Mac day. I've
Hmm.
been so busy preparing for Friday, 2 days from now, which is the big event, that I didn't even go to Dr. Mac today. I canceled this morning.
Oh
I have
no! By the way, Heidi made it. I think. Yeah, it's just Heidi's there on the
yay!
screen.
Oh, hi Heidi. Thanks. Thanks for hanging in there and finding us.
So no
Um,
Dr. Mac today. So what is going on
First
with
time in
you? Are
three
you
years.
feeling discombobulated? Do you feel kind of tossed around, or what's going on?
No, not at
Look
all.
at
I'm
you.
so
Look
in
at
control.
you.
I'm
Uh,
like, dude, I can like, I don't know, I might go to once every other week now.
Look at
I
you.
feel so clear in my mind, in my recovery, that, what's the definition of recovery? It is, for me, it is finding ourself, right? Coming back to ourself. It's recovering our mind, our body, our soul. It is taking action and finding our purpose again. For me, it was finding my life again. It was figuring out who I not only was, but who I was meant to be. Because I literally got a raw deal my whole life. Yeah. It was all because of my choices and the people that I chose to be around. And I do take responsibility for marrying the people I married, even though I knew better. I did know better. I was young. I can make all the excuses I want. But at the end of the day, it was up to me to choose to recover. It was up to me to choose to become the Suzie that was always in there, to find myself again, to go back and rescue that little Suzie, that little inner child, and let her blossom and grow. And now, like, I'm very childlike, but I'm happy I'm childlike. I don't have regrets. I don't have sympathy. I don't have a victim mentality. I'm at the point right now where I am excited that I even went through the things I went through, because I know that even though they were really dark, horrible, like bad times, I know people that know my story know I went through a lot of stuff, a lot of really bad experiences, but those experiences made me who I am today. And if I didn't have all those experiences, Friday for the state of Connecticut, the video that they came and recorded of my story and my life and my recovery wouldn't be. And I know in my heart, in my soul, that my story will and is inspiring others. And I'm going to help others not to have to wait as long as I did to get out, to know there is help, to know they don't have to wait. They're not alone. And if they don't have a voice yet to speak and to tell someone what's going on in their lives, I can be their voice. I am their voice. Yeah.
The challenges can be different for every person making the adjustment to stand up for their own values and their dignity when they're dealing with an abuser.
Mm.
You decided to not only make an adjustment in your life, in other words, get away from the abuser, but you started to analyze. You made an adjustment, you analyzed also your own choices. That can
Mm-hmm.
that can hurt to look at the choices you made and then accept
Mm-hmm.
accountability. You made an adjustment,
Yeah.
you decided
I
to analyze, and then you decided to really take accountability. All of those can be really difficult, Suzie. How could you really look at your choices and give a fair evaluation of what you went through and not just dump it all on the narcissist?
because I got to the point where when he was gone, I was alone. When whatever little phrase you want, when you're however the end happens, whether you leave them or they leave you, the discard, whatever you want to say, okay? Um, at the end of the day, you're left with yourself. I was left with me. I couldn't beg him to come back anymore. I couldn't cry, I couldn't plead. I couldn't fix it, as my kids used to say, just fix it. The whole family was suffering, okay, because of my choice to be with a person that caused chaos in our lives, night and day, every holiday, everything was chaotic. And at the end of the day, at the end of it all, I was left with myself. So what was I going to do? Either pick myself up once again start to learn. I had to learn to take care of myself. Like I've said many times, to get out of bed, to brush my teeth, self-care, self-love, to eat, to nourish my body, all these little things that people take for granted. For me, it was a really big deal because I didn't know how to take care of myself. I also, actually this week, June, what are we? June, I don't even know what today's date is.
It's the
Today's
12th.
date
It's
is
the
June
12th.
12th.
Hmm.
Okay. So 14 years ago, it was June, I believe June 6th. I was with this person. Okay. So you're talking about like make the choice. What helped me to make the choice to change my life, to take care of myself, to recover, to learn how to recover. 14 years ago this week, I was in a coma and on life support. And I haven't thought about that date or that week in many, many years. And this year, that now that I'm alone and I'm living on my own and I'm successful just in everyday life, just eating. I'm successful just to wake up and smile. I went to a concert last week. Like every day is successful for me because every day is another day of my recovery. You don't have to be a drug addict or an alcoholic or, have an eating disorder to be in recovery. I am in recovery to learn how to take care of myself. And when I realized that this was I don't know, I don't want to say an anniversary should be a celebration, right? But this week marks 14 years ago that I took my life. I was in such a bad place with this person. I couldn't take another second. And I survived. I was in a coma. I was on life support. My godmother saved my life. I had called to say goodbye to her because I didn't want to die alone. And she drove up from New York to Connecticut, and she came to the hospital to make sure that my brain was still working. She was coming up to pull the plug, basically. And she says, "Suzie, it's a miracle. Everyone, it's a miracle I'm alive." So my recovery is a big deal to me. And I want to share it with others. I want other people to know that no matter how dark or how sad or how depressed you may feel, there is hope. And if I could survive, and if I could live, and if I could overcome, and if I can now look back 14 years ago and see what I did to myself because I was so unhappy, but I survived it. And even though I survived it, my life was not happy. I made the best of it. I kept it going. I sucked it up and just kept pushing through. But today's different. This year's different. From now on is different. I will never let anyone talk to me disrespectfully. I will never let anyone lay their hands on me. I will never let anyone hurt me physically, emotionally, mentally, psychologically, financially, or spiritually ever again. I have learned so much because of what I've gone through. And when I speak to women now and men, and they're going through similar situations, I can tell them, like, it's going to be okay. And honestly, I know I make an impact because they can feel from my words, from my soul speaks to their soul. I've been there. I've done that. I survived it. I've lived it. I didn't just look something up and decide, oh, I'm going to like try to help someone get through this or that. No, no. I've been there in the pits of hell and I made it out. And I know I made it out so I can help others. make it out too.
You have this lived experience.
Yes.
You weren't planning on it.
Mm-mm.
As a little girl, you weren't planning to go through the assaults that you experienced, the physical
No.
and sexual abuse that you experienced. You survived the selfishness of others. What is it that you can say to someone, or maybe you've done so with Heidi and others, and they've done it with you? What are some tips that you've learned from them that you share with them that we need to pass on to others that have a story to tell?
First of all, what we all share in the women's groups and what I've learned, like even after I woke up from that coma 14 years ago, I didn't have the tools. I didn't have the help. I didn't have the support. Support changes everything. Knowing you're not alone changes everything. Telling your story, speaking up, finding your voice again changes everything. I can't emphasize those things enough. You must find someone you trust. You must keep, and if the first person doesn't listen, like people say, oh, I tried therapy or I tried counseling or I told my family, or people are like, oh, why don't you just leave? And all these little cliche little sayings people say, please don't give up. Find someone else. Look for someone else. Find another therapist. Just keep telling your story until somebody listens. I will listen. I mean, anyone on here listening to me today knows they can contact me anytime and I will be there for you. I will find the resources. I will find the help. Yeah, our women's group is phenomenal and we all help the newcomers. It's hard, even though I'm years out, some of them are my Gloria, who joins the chat all the time, is 9, 10 years out. It still affects us. You just have to keep your support system. You have to keep talking. You have to keep sharing. You have to keep having hope. Just having hope.
You said Gloria's 9 or 10 years out and she's still
Mm.
affected.
Mhm.
What are some of the effects that you've seen in some of the strong women that are part of your group? What are some of the residue that's still left by the abuser?
We have good days and we have bad days. And sometimes listening to somebody else's story, right? Someone else's abuse or someone who just got out of the hospital or whatever the case may be, it's triggering. Of course it's triggering. It's upsetting. It brings us back, but it also gives us strength. For me, if I hear somebody telling me like a new story and finally finding their voice and expressing themselves and getting their story out and getting help for the first time, it does take me back a little, but at the same time, it empowers me even more. Because quite honestly, I'll be damned if I sit back and let one more person be hurt who's trying to get help, who she realizes or he realizes they've had enough. Whatever it takes. I know I will, and I know many of these women will do whatever we need to do to help them to get away from the person, to start to recover, to start to heal.
In the process of healing, I'm going to toss something out to you here. I have a few things in front of me for you
Mhm.
on some index cards. Here's one to toss out to you. And just, hey, we're improvising today. So
Yeah.
here we go. When you hear the word bitter in regards to dealing with an abuser, being bitter is sometimes what an individual can go through after leaving an abuser. Bitterness can start to settle in. one way or the other. Did you experience anything like that? What comes to your mind when you think of that?
Um, I don't think I was ever bitter. I was more resentful. I felt resent. I felt anger.
That's actually my second word, but let's do that now.
Yeah.
No, go
Yeah,
ahead.
I'm
Let's go with that.
sorry.
No, you don't need to be. No, you need to be sorry. We're improvising,
Well,
so I just go. Okay,
yeah.
so resentfulness. Go ahead.
I was resentful. It wasn't even for myself because I mean, obviously, to me it's obvious now. It may not be obvious to somebody going through it or just getting out of it, but for me, looking back, I can see how obvious it was that I put myself last because any one of us who allows this abuse of any form to continue, we don't put ourselves first. I was bitter and angry more for my children and grandchildren, not for what he did to me, but what he did to them through me because they had to watch me suffer. So bitter, yeah, I may have been bitter or resentful because my family had to watch me suffer because of this person. Yeah. Real deal prime is saying, yeah. Yeah. Putting yourself last it was probably selfish on my part, and I never thought of it that way because it was selfish on my part looking back now, I feel, because I didn't even stand up for myself. So my family had to watch me suffer and they suffered in turn, right? Through it all. I never thought of it that way. That's something I'm going to have to think about. That brings up a good point. That brings up a good, I'm always looking for new ways to heal or new ways to kind of undo all the stuff I've gone through. Real Deal Prime says the small minds are what matters. Their future depends on it. Yeah. The small minds are what matters. Yeah, well, their future depends on putting us down, right? They're the small-minded people, the ones who hurt us or because we have a big heart. Their future depends on it, yeah, because it makes them feel bigger, feel better about themselves. Because I mean, in reality, they're the weak ones, right? They're the small ones. They need us to look good, to feel good. Oh, looking back, it's so clear now. Once you're out of it a little while, everything, I see the big picture now. It
Were
makes
you were
sense now.
were you trying to be? Excuse me. Uh, were you trying to see the big picture while you were going through it?
No, no, I was surviving.
So it was just what's in front of you is what you saw as you were going through it. Is that kind of a way to describe it for those who have never experienced it and don't understand because they've never been that close to an abuser or a narcissistic, toxic person?
Mhm.
You
What do you
just,
mean?
when you say surviving, you literally were
Mhm.
just waking up, just trying to make it till it's time to go to bed.
I didn't even sleep.
I'm trying to give a mind's eye to people who have no idea what it's like. So
Okay.
this is more than just, hey, you're going to plan a camping trip months down the line, and then you're looking at, hey, what am I making for the weekend? This literally is walking the term eggshells, pins and needles. This was more than that for you.
Oh,
This
yes.
required you being in the hospital sometimes. This eventually
Mhm.
required plastic surgery and a number of other things. This was
Mhm.
highly intense for you.
Mhm.
But yet you sit in a different spot in life right now.
Yeah, thank God. Yes.
Someone is walking in the same footpaths that you've left behind. The energy that you're going to spend this weekend or should say Friday,
Mhm.
is really going to be quite a bit, because this is you going to do something you've never thought of doing, standing before strangers and sharing your story, along with a few others from the women's group, right? I think. Yeah.
There's one other, yes,
All right. Okay.
Marianne. One other is sharing her story. I'm doing this for them. I'm doing this for every person out there. Not only women and men who are in abusive relationships. I'm doing this for the children of the families who have to watch their mothers or their fathers being abused. I'm doing this for grandchildren. I'm doing this to bring and raise awareness that it's unacceptable. Um, uh, that's what hurts me the most. It's not what I endured. Yeah, there were countless hospital stays. Every day was a catastrophe. This person went to work and there was a problem. It's not even just when I was around him, it was chaos 24/7. And to be able to now go on Friday and to represent every person who's been abused is such an honor and a privilege, to be honest. Yeah, it's an honor and a privilege. I'm excited to go for everyone else. Like, I'm not excited to go for myself, if that makes sense. Yes,
It makes
it's
sense.
going to be a nice
It makes.
time, but
Yeah.
I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for everyone that doesn't have a voice yet. I'm doing this for me 10 years ago. I want to be for others. I want to be for me what I didn't have. I want to be for others what they can't do yet. Real Deal Prime is saying, if I was to have an opinion, insulted, yelled at, and hit before I could say a word or have time to react, it was a routine. Yes. I would never state my opinion. I would have to believe what he believed, watch what he watched, think the way he thought. I couldn't be my own person. So yeah, I had the same thing. Be belittled, be embarrassed, be put down, physically abused, mentally abused, verbally abused. Real Deal Primes continues stopping generational curse and tainted one's bloodline into yours is a key focus now. Absolutely. When I was a little girl, I remember watching my mother being beaten up, and I would jump on whoever it was at the time, their backs and just like beat them off my mom. So yeah, this has been generational. And I heard stories of my great grandmother being abused by my great grandfather, and it goes on and on and on. So absolutely, somebody has to do it. It's up to us. It has to stop. I cannot even fathom to think of my grandchildren growing up and being abused. Oh, no, no, not on my watch. Absolutely not. Real Deal Prime says, I stayed to protect my small children from the daily chaos, not for me. I stayed for my children as well. And I now, yeah, I regret that decision now. I do. Real Deal Prime continues. These people are more concerned about masking their behavior than improving as people. Honestly, I don't even see them as people. It's the most bizarre thing now for me on the outside looking in, right? How could these people continue this facade? And it's so bizarre to think how the whole family allows it. I think of my ex. He was married before, he had children before. He was older than I. They warned me about this man. And I think about how they all reconciled now, of course, because I'm the, it was me, I was the bad guy or whatever their thing was a couple of years ago. Regardless, how do you even like, I don't know. If you know someone's like that, I could never be around someone like this again, ever. I don't understand how the families cover up for them or make excuses for them. Or, well, someone did explain to me that sadly a lot of the other family members do pick up their traits. So maybe they feel better about themselves because they kind of behave in the same manner. They learn behavior, they grew up in it. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me, and it's upsetting. It's upsetting to see other family members who still want to be around these people once the mask falls off, right? Once the truth comes out. Real Deal Prime says it's a learned behavior from childhood. Yes, I understand that totally. And you know what? I had this conversation with Leon Walker, the self-proclaimed narcissist. I don't know if that's how he labels himself, but
Yeah,
we
pretty much.
uh,
Yeah.
we did
Hmm.
we did have a conversation, and I remember saying,
Diagnosed narcissist. Yeah. Go ahead.
diagnosed, thank you.
Hmm.
And I remember asking him at one point, like, okay, here we are, two little kids. He wrote a book about it, and he was sexually abused as a child. I was sexually abused as a child. They lost their home. I lost my home. Parents got divorced. My parents got divorced. So we have a lot of similar, upbringing traits that we both kind of went through. So where in that crossroads did he go this way and I go that way? Where I was the people pleaser. I wanted to help everyone. I wanted to make a better life. And he went the darker route. He took advantage of women, and he speaks of this, and it's strange because we both had troubled childhoods, and I went one path and he went another path. So I don't know. I think I always tried to be the person that I needed. I would love to ask him, and the next time I have a conversation with him, I'm going to ask him if I wanted to be the person I always needed. What was your thought process? Like, I wonder what his thought process was. Because a lot of us have gone through abuse, right? But a lot of us don't turn dark and don't hurt other people. Real Deal Prime is saying, "Oh, it's a learned behavior from childhood." Yeah, absolutely. There's Real Deal Prime again says their behavior is like breathing, no thought required. Nope. Oh my gosh, it's creepy,
Wow. See, that's the
right?
word. That's the word that comes to mind. I mean, I'm fascinated by the whole aspect of human behavior that puts a person down this path. Outside of it, of course, being one of those things where they literally have this evil aspect to them, but it is creepy.
Yeah.
It can be that. That's why it is very important for individuals to know that everyone looks at life the same way you do. That there are individuals who look at trying to take advantage of others in a very creepy way. Real Deal mentions their behavior is like breathing, as you just touched on. No thought required.
Mhm.
You put some thought into recovery.
Yes.
You didn't just do it once. You began to have a pattern of doing things a certain way. Were
Yeah.
there moments where there were kind of like relapses where it seemed like this is too much work to do the recovery? I might as well just go back.
Well, sure. For years and years and years. So we would have a blowout every holiday or whatever. I mean, there were so many incidences that I can't even recall them all. But whenever there was an issue or a blowout or a fight or a problem, I would flee. I would run. I used to sleep in my car. I used to sleep in parking lots, whatever. I would give up. I'd go home. I didn't have resources. I didn't tell the truth. I was embarrassed. I was humiliated. I didn't tell my family exactly what was going on. So they would just think it was a fight. And like my godmother will say, like I'd call her at 3 a.m, hysterical. She never realized I was in the parking lot of a Walmart. And the next day she'd call to check on me and I'd pretend nothing happened. So yeah. So I did this for years and years and years and
Kept up
years.
the appearance. You just totally kept up the appearance no matter what.
Yep. Until he broke my bones. And the police stepped in and called the women's center. He had gone in to the police station and he had said that I did it. He saw my eye. I was in the woods for 17 hours. He hid my car in the garage. When I was found, he saw me because I had woods outside of my house and I was huddled by a tree. And when he saw me, he started screaming, "I didn't do that to you. I didn't do that to you." He went to the police station. He said, "I did it to myself." And if I didn't hit that record button on my phone and got that 35 seconds of him beating me in the car, because I never spoke up. I never said, "Hey, wait a minute, he's lying." Every time he'd call the police, like for stupid things. It was so, I think back now and for all of you out there who are afraid to speak up, because so many of them will call the police. They will twist the story. They will play the victim. Please speak up. Say something. Tell someone. I never did. I never knew I could. And finally, that video is what saved my life.
Which video you speak of? The video from the woods or from the car that you talked about the very first time you came on from the car? Okay, all right, yeah. Because you sent me some videos. I couldn't watch them all the way through.
Dr.
I
Matt,
really couldn't
yeah,
watch them all. I couldn't watch them all the way through.
No.
They were very heart wrenching. What you were going through, the anger of the individual was just unbelievable. It's just awful. I have to pivot now to Real Deal Prime because I wanted to get that in. Then we're going to get to Heidi's thoughts here. You feel free to read that for us, please.
Real Deal Prime. I don't know what's up with my glasses today. I can see better without them today for some reason.
I was going to say you don't know.
I know.
You got in your new place. You got in your new place.
I don't know.
You got in your new place, and now you can see.
My vision is good. Everything's good. It must be all the sunshine I'm getting on my face. I can see.
I can see, boys and girls.
See.
All right,
there we go.
Okay. So
Real Deal Prime says again, you have to laugh, right? We have to. I have to. That's part of my healing. Recovery. You must laugh. Watch something funny.
Right.
You must. Okay.
Dance,
Real Deal Prime says,
dance and laugh. Yes. Go ahead.
Please. Seriously. You have to. The family covers because it's family. Yes.
So was that what he was trying to do with you? Make you think, he totally indoctrinate you to become family, like his initial family, so that he could get away with murder and as it were. That's a bad choice of words, but
yeah, no.
He was
totally
trying to get
different.
You to just keep taking it, and you would have been a part of the. You've been part of the cult. You've been part of the clan.
You know what? I believe Real Deal Prime is getting at here, and correct me if I'm wrong. He had his, because he was older than I was, so he had a whole family, and his kids were kind of my age. They warned me about him. They would cover. They would tell the truth, but then they would cover.
Oh, hold on a second. So they would tell the truth to who?
They would tell me. They would warn me about him.
To you.
They warned me.
And then they would cover for him.
When it got bad and all the police and stuff got involved and they started coming around again, they started covering.
What was he, the money maker for everybody?
No.
Is that why they were going?
Hell no.
I take that back. I just thought about what I said.
No.
Not based upon what you said. No, it wasn't going to work that way. We got
I honestly, I think they have similar traits, and I think that they feel better about themselves. Meaning, I think
the family,
family members
Got
Yeah,
it.
kind of. I
Yeah.
mean, maybe it's not their fault. They grew up with it, right? So maybe they have similar traits. So he's not like the bad guy. He's the bad guy, but he's not the bad guy because they're kind of bad too. So it's kind of like a little cover up thing going on, if that makes sense. I'm trying to
So,
say it
so,
without saying it.
so no, you just need to stop. So what I was gonna say is, you did
Thank you.
great. You did great. Yeah, I got you. No, I got you. Say, hey, you know what? Save it for Friday night.
Okay.
Save it for Friday night. And then you could come and bring some of those thoughts back and what others said. Okay, so Heidi has got a few things for us. Real Deal Prime. Here we go. It's hard to go a show without
Mhm.
doing this. That is Real Deal Prime. Thank you very much. Heidi says, put that up on the screen. She says, I stayed for my 5 children. I couldn't leave them alone. Interesting. She mentions a little bit more. You want to go ahead and read that for us, please? I'm going to do a couple of things while you're doing
Yes,
that.
Heidi continues, I had to wait till they grew a little older. I had nowhere to go. Um, that's how I felt as well, Heidi. Like I stayed for my kids. I knew I was in a mess. I knew it was a bad situation. I thought I could keep it under control and I could keep it flowing, but the same thing, I stayed for the kids. And honestly, where did it get me? It got me in an even worse situation. And then when the kids grew up and moved out, I was left alone with this person. So that made it even worse.
How much did he change once the children were
Oh,
out, quote unquote, out of the way? Worse?
bad.
Yeah,
Oh, so
I've
bad.
heard that from a few of my guests. Tell me about your bad. When you say the before and after, the kids were there, he was one way. After, give us kind of a bird's eye view of what that was like.
I believe they put on the act. They keep that mask up. They keep the facade up. They will look like the good guy or the good girl, the good one
Hmm.
for as long as they can. And they will keep it up. So yeah, so they look good. But once there's no buffer there, once the kids were gone, it gets bad. I remember it's so sad, but my younger son once said to me, he's like, one, I don't even want to say it. He knew after the fact, after everything went down, he's like, my gosh, I left you with that monster.
Wow.
But he didn't know what a monster he was because I would keep the secrets. I would keep it quiet. I would make it better. So if there was a fight, like I was saying, I'd run out of the house. I'd sleep in my car. So the kids would wake up in the morning and like they wouldn't realize what happened. But once they were gone,
It was clear.
when
It was clear.
I tell people I lived in my studio, now I live in this farmhouse, okay? And I'm not joking you, I slept with a baseball bat by my bed. I had an ice pick in the wall. I had a knife under my mattress. I had a taser. I could go on and on and on. You know what I have now? Nothing. I have no fear. That man is not in my life. I'm not afraid of him anymore. He lived in that house. Could you imagine living with your spouse being so terrified that I needed weapons to protect myself because I never knew when he was going to come running up those stairs? You know how many women I speak to that live like that?
Hmm.
It's horrible. And now I'm living single. I'm alone. I don't even have a butter knife. I don't need one.
You're
I
well.
don't have a nail clipper.
You're just getting to that point where you can start putting your kitchen together. Would you say before you get
Oh,
a?
it's so
What are you
cute.
doing? You're gonna get a table or what? Or are you gonna put a mat down? You're doing the yeah.
Yeah, I got
She's
my little
decorating,
rugs.
people.
I'm
She's decorating.
decorating.
Totally decorating. Here it is.
It's
Okay,
getting really cute.
Heidi's got stuff for us. We read that one there. Heidi was highlighting, correct?
Mhm. And
Let's look at
yes.
this next one.
Heidi says, I begged my mom to go back home. She said no because I would disgrace the family by going back home.
Wow.
Yeah, that's sad. That's sad that you didn't have the support, Heidi. I'm sorry. I mean, I know we discussed this until I got strong enough. Heidi says, to believe in myself that I can make it there alone. Good for you. And you did it, and you're doing it. This is fresh for her too. Yeah. It's sad. That's another thing, right? The family thinks you're a disgrace, or they won't believe you, or there's so many different
You're not
aspects of
trying
it.
hard enough. You're doing
Right.
something wrong. All the above.
No, 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 no. Do not accept that. Keep
What
reaching out.
What are you going to say? I know you can't tell us, huh? What are you going to say on Friday? You're going to carry a big box of tissues, right?
I'm not going to cry. I'm proud.
Just in case you,
No,
well, last time we did a show together,
I know.
you became Left Eye. What's her name from
Left Eye Lopez.
Left Eye Lopez? Because your mascara
TLC.
got into your eye. You're like TLC. So you're not gonna cry, huh? You go
I don't
in
know.
both barrels. You're gonna go in there and you're gonna like, get it on. I'm gonna tell my story.
Yeah, I'm excited. I
You
know
are
the video is going to
nervous?
be, I can't wait to see the video.
That's
I'm
right. It's your
not, I
first time, right?
really, yeah, I think I've survived so much that I really don't get that kind of nervous thing. I was more nervous living with an abusive person because I never knew what was coming. I feel safe now. When you feel safe, you look at life a whole different way. I do anyway.
This is your
I
first
don't,
time feeling safe
oh my
ever?
gosh, yes. When I was a little
No
girl,
moment in time, no moment in history that you can remember, even before the initial abuse when you were a little girl. Can you think of a moment you felt safe?
yeah, when I was with my great grandmother,
Okay.
sleeping over, when I was with
Wow.
my yeah, I do have
Wow.
moments. I mean, I was little when I was with my pony
Yeah.
before 10 years old.
Yeah. Before that.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So, I mean,
nothing like now.
nothing.
And you're a woman who's wanted by the state. I've always wanted to say that to you. I've been waiting to say that just to today.
I want
You're
to,
a
right?
woman wanted by the state to represent them speaking about
So
domestic abuse
grateful.
and domestic violence. So
So
that's a good
grateful.
thing. You need a shirt that says that. By the
That's it.
way, hey, just
Wanted.
popped in my head. You wanted by the state.
Wanted.
There you go. With a picture of the state of Connecticut, by the way.
There
That
you
would be
go.
like totally.
That's it. I made it.
You
I got
have
the t-shirt to prove
you
it.
got
I
there you go. You
have
have
merch
merch.
out, by the way,
Um,
SCTV Network.
there it is. There it is.
Yeah.
Everybody, you have to go over to the YouTube channel. You definitely, because I haven't checked, but I'm going to put pressure on Suzie. You definitely have to go by her Instagram because she'll post pictures there.
Yeah.
Just totally throw that
I
out there
will.
right now.
I
She'll
know.
go like, oh, I guess I got to do that when the show's over with. So you got
Well.
to check out a way that you can support Suzie and her women's group coaching and a number of other things that she does.
Yes.
You can buy merch at least once a year, people. At least once a year. At least
Yeah.
show support for not only the recovery that has happened for her, but how she is working with others to help them recover and keeps knocking down doors and opening up opportunities that she can be of service to those who have been abused, including men. So if you need someone to talk to, make sure that you are going to talk to Suzie. And how can they reach you, Suzie? How can they reach out to you, Suzie?
You can reach out to me
So
through
weird.
email, Susie with a Z podcast show at Gmail, or on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, all the things, all the social media things. Yeah.
We were improvising today, so that means whatever you got from us is what you got. Get it in teaspoon size, tablespoon size. Use a ladle if you'd like to, but take what you need from us here at NATV and SZTV networks because we are out to make sure that you know we care. A lot of people care, but then too, a lot of people try to make money off you. Our objective is to make sure you know we want to give you someone you can talk to, give you some value. So we got to get back to the chat, okay? So we just looked at what Heidi said. I believe we just touched on this one. Yeah, did you get this one until I get strong enough?
Yes.
Yes, we did.
She got out. Yes.
Real Deal Prime. What a name. That's a name, man. What a name there.
Yeah.
Cool. He's got something to say to you.
Our empathy can sometimes get in the way of exposing abusive people. Yes, I agree. I always thought that I could help him. I felt sorry for him. He played the victim, yada, yada, yada. And I was going to save the day, save him, save face. Didn't want to look bad, didn't want my kids to look bad, and didn't work. No, got worse.
One day you just flipped the switch, or he did something that made it all go away. Well, it's just one day with the bones. When he broke the bones is kind of the moment you
I was
said earlier.
a mess. Yeah, this is something that people don't prepare you for, or I wasn't prepared for, was when the bones were broken, when my family literally came and rescued me out from that RV, I got worse. I had Stockholm syndrome. I had the whole, the hamster wheel of my mind of, I don't even know how to explain it. I couldn't get them out of my head. I was obsessed. When they say trauma bond, it's not a joke. It was bad. It
You
was
were
night
locked
and
in.
day.
You were totally locked in. You were,
How could he do this? Where'd he go?
yeah.
I was so confused. And then I had a couple of weeks where I literally relived everything that I ever questioned pop back into my head. And I was like, oh my gosh, that was a lie. That was a lie. That was a lie. That you realize my 25 years was a lie. That was frightening. That was frightening for me. I know now what I needed, so I know how I could support and help someone else going through that, because at the time I didn't have anyone who really could work through those steps. And there are steps you need to take to get through that. That was rough.
What what is it? Man, I got to get these cobwebs out of my throat, my voice. So what was it that got you to this point where you can now say, I know what those steps are. I know what the other person needs because I didn't have it. What is it that they need? What is it you give them? What is it that makes them go from being trauma locked in and bonded to where you are right now? Somebody
I
wants
need,
the answer.
yeah. Well, it's not like a simple, two-step process. I needed to first of all accept what happened. Come to terms and accept it. It's a hard pill to swallow when you realize that you allowed someone to do what they've done to you for that long, and all the lies and all the deceit and the cheating and the disrespect, and it's humiliating. Okay. I had to come to terms with it. I had to make amends. I had to forgive myself. It's not even about forgiving the other person. I mean, if that comes in time, great. That's wonderful. Forgiving myself was a major step for me to take.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, that kind of just happened not too long ago. The guilt about my children, my grandchildren, what I put my family through, the lies I lied to myself. I was lying to forget what he did, what the unhealthy person does. You allow it. I allowed it. So I think it was harder for me to accept and heal those parts of me, those empty voids in me that let
Yeah.
someone treat me so badly, than it was for me to allow him to do that to me. Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense. Does that mean, I'm just tossing this out and you keep going,
Yeah.
but does that mean that at some point you were looking that maybe you were also unhealthy? It's
Yes.
just that he was unhealthier, but you still had to address, not focusing on his unhealthiness. You had to start addressing yours so you could get out of there.
Number one, get safe. Number two is like, realize what you've been through, come to terms with it.
Mm-hmm.
Number three, you literally have to process every lie, everything you remember. And it's a process, and it hurts really bad. You talk about ripping that Band-Aid off. You rip that Band-Aid off. You pour salt on that wound. You pour
Wow.
bleach on that wound.
Oh,
That is
oh my God.
pain.
Oh my
No,
goodness.
I'm not even
Oh
joking you. I'm not
wow.
even trying
My
to be funny right
goodness.
now.
Good
And
Lord.
then you have to come to terms with yourself. It was about me. So once you stop looking at that person,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
then you start looking at why, who am I? What caused me? What am I lacking? What do I need? How do I heal that void, that hole? How do I go back and find little Suzie? How do I rescue her? How can I keep her safe? How can I help her to grow and thrive and live? And that's the fun part.
Oh, okay, come on now. You can't say that with a smile. What do you mean fun? Does
Yes,
that mean a
it's a good
diabolical
I can
smile
have
fun like
fun.
it's not? Is
No,
that a twisted
I
question? Are
worked
you getting creepy on me?
so
No. What does
hard.
that
I'm
mean?
not getting creepy on you. I mean that I work so hard that I'm so proud of myself that I can actually enjoy and have peace with having fun. I never allowed myself to feel good, to have fun, to
Hmm.
truly
Yeah.
enjoy my
Mm-hmm.
moments, my life, a song, a dance,
Man.
a concert, a conversation, just talking to you right now, talking to the audience, talking to everyone who needs to hear this. I actually, for the first time, how many of you out there listening are really comfortable with yourselves? Or really comfortable talking to yourselves or with your dated, your daily
Mm-hmm.
routine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
enjoy washing dishes now. No, I'm not
All
even.
right. Didn't see that. We know what your job is when you come out to California, even though I
That's
love
it.
washing
I'm
dishes.
awesome.
I love washing. We'd have to fight on that one because, I fight my children to wash dishes. I think it's therapeutic for me, but,
It is. Well, there you go. Like when you put yourself last for so long, when I put myself last for so long, I can find joy in the littlest things is what I'm trying to get at.
okay. So I tell you what, you come out here. I want you to make as many dishes as you want, or you can just eat off a paper plate. And then while I'm washing dishes, you can talk to me. So you can talk to me while I'm
Okay.
washing dishes. Yeah, washing dishes.
There
You
you
can
go.
dry them. You can dry them.
Okay. I could put them away.
You can put them away. Yeah, there you go. Can try them.
There you go.
Everyone, we want you to know what Heidi has to say. Wait a minute. Did I skip somebody here? No, I did that. Yeah, right. We did real deal. Yeah, that's right. Here we go. Man, I got cobwebs. I'm just not sharp like I used to be. All right. Heidi's got something for you. Would you please do me
Yeah,
the
she
honor?
said that she begged her mom time and time again, and she stayed for 20 years until she got enough courage to leave. Meaning, I think she reached out to her mom, and her mom wasn't supportive. So when she finally got enough strength after 20 years, Heidi left. Thank
Was there
goodness.
somebody that you reached out to, or wait, take that back? You didn't reach out to anybody. Was there
Well,
somebody though that proved to be just like Suzie? This is all in your head. You just need to be a better person.
no, I kept this a complete secret. But the
Wow,
reason I believe that I kept it, I mean, people knew something was off,
something
but
was
no one knew
off.
the
Yeah,
extent.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like I'd be crying 3 a.m. in the Walmart parking lot and then pretend everything was okay the next day. And my kids would be like, what the heck is going on? They'd hear, him running up the stairs or whatever. They knew, looking back, they know now. But when I was a little girl and I was sexually molested, I had told someone and yeah, so the person told my mother and then
Wow.
she believed me, then she didn't. So that programmed me to keep the secrets
To
and,
not say anything. To not say anything. To
right.
just go ahead and be quiet. Yeah. You got a really serious question here. I'm going to put up on the screen from Real
Okay.
Deal Prime.
How do you butter your bread in the morning without a butter knife? Thanks for sharing. Okay. No, you know what I do when I make
Uh,
I'm
you were
telling you
talking
this may
serious. You were talking serious, and I was
no, I'm
trying to keep a
sorry.
serious face, but I
Sorry.
read that and I was like, okay, go ahead.
Okay,
What do you
so
do?
I do have butter knives down in the kitchen, and now that I have a proper kitchen and like a real kitchen, I do have utensils and dishes and everything else. Okay, so I take the butter and because I don't like a lot of butter, but I'll just like toast it and I'll rub the butter on the toast, and that butter is just for toast. So like if you come over and you're gonna eat,
I'm trying to be serious. Seriously,
sorry, it's true. Honestly, honest to God.
you do not cross contaminate your butter. That butter is just for the toast.
Just
You
for the toast, but
you
I
know what?
rub it
You are
on the
so
toast. I
prejudiced.
don't use
You
a
are so
knife.
prejudiced. You are so
No, I'm not.
prejudiced.
Wait, how do you
The
butter your
other
corn? Do you
that
do corn
poor
on the
butter.
cob?
That poor, yes, that poor butter gave of its life to take care of your bread, but you won't let him
Just
go back to his
toast.
neighborhood with his friends. You keep him separated out. That poor
I do.
innocent butter.
I do. And it has crumbs on the end, so I
You're a,
don't serve it to guests.
you're a butterologist. You're a
I am a
butterologist.
butter psycho.
I don't know what that means. It's just me. You're a butter. You need to,
Wait a minute.
you
How do
need,
you
you
how
need
do
to
you
talk to
I need
Dr.
to
Mac
know
about
something.
this.
All right. He'll just laugh. He just laughs at me
I
all the
was gonna
time.
say
All right,
probably you do
I
it.
have a
Yeah, you'll
really
probably just
serious
you'll
question.
probably laugh.
Okay. Maybe
Okay.
Real Deal Prime can answer this, or you can
Okay.
answer this. But how do
I
you
have
put
no
butter on your
answers.
corn on the cob?
Oh, that's
Do
easy.
you roll it into the stick of butter, or do you cut a slice and rub it on your butter?
What is wrong? Those are the only two choices. You know, there's 5 billion
I
other
don't
ways to
know.
do it,
Tell
right?
me. They have little devices you could put them in. How do you do
I
it?
don't do devices. You do it. You do it the same way. You know, my father was from Arkansas. You do it the same
Okay,
way.
go.
You know, you get some butter and you melt it and you take it and you dip it like it was chocolate.
Hold up. So you
You
do
dip.
like
You dip
lobster?
it. You dip. Yeah. Well,
No
you can
way.
say that, but I look at it as chocolate. You melt it in a big thing of butter and you keep it
I
warm and
never
you
did
dip
that.
it in there and then you turn it and roll it and you bite it as this rolling back the other way. Man, it's hey,
What do you
you
do?
know,
Wait, what do
I'll
you
school you.
melt it
I'll school
in?
you. Huh? What do you mean? What
What do you melt it in?
you melt it in a pot. You
You
melt it
just
in a
leave the
pan. There's a
pot.
lot of
How do
ways
you
you can do
serve?
it. It depends on how many you got.
We used to take the
Wait,
corn on the
now
cob.
wait a
Did you
minute.
ever stick those things in the
I have to.
side?
I have. Yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah. All right.
that was bougie from the neighborhood I come
That
from.
was
That
like
was that's
back
like
in
you
the
got rich.
day.
But what I was gonna say is, yeah, okay. I'm gonna tell you in a minute what we would
Go.
really stick in there, but I'll tell you that. But it's not what you were thinking of. So anyhow, what I was gonna say is, when you the butter. Now you know what I have to apologize to you. Then I segregated butter out too, because that butter was just
There
for
you
corn
go.
on the cob. And you get a pot and you put a bunch of butter in it, you melt it, and then you got to remember now you're having corn.
Hmm.
If you melt the butter, you're having corn like that day and maybe the next day. Not corn
Right.
on the cob, corn. Period. Corn off the cob, corn on the cob, and popcorn, because all of that butter has to go toward all of that corn.
Corn.
So when you
Okay.
go get corn on the cob, you can't just, we're gonna have popcorn too, and you get because you're gonna just have a bunch of butter and you can just
You,
come on, heart disease. Let's just go, let's go, just go.
do you
Nah,
ever
the
cut your
secrets of
corn off the
Paxton.
cob?
That's
Hold
a
up. Do
waste
you
of
ever
time. You
cut
know
the
what?
corn?
That's what my teeth are for.
Oh,
That's a
but
waste
it's
of time.
good though.
I
No, because
agree.
then you get
Wait,
like the
I agree.
chunks.
Wait, you asked me, do I do it? No, that's too much work for me. If somebody else
Okay.
does it, or I go to their house,
That's
I
some
think they're the
good
greatest.
corn.
I think they're the greatest person on the planet
All right.
because
When
that
I
corn
come
is
out,
really
when I
good.
see
That's
you,
good.
I'm gonna
That's
cut that
good.
off for you because you
Oh
know when you
man,
get
you
like
cut that
five,
off.
six at a
Yeah,
time.
and you know
Oh,
what
it's
happens?
good.
You know what happens if you cut the corn off? What actually happens is when we eat it, we
Yeah.
go to this whole other buttery corn place. This other our bodies just start to float because that corn
That's
is really
it.
good when you cut it off. I just
It's
hate
like the
doing it.
best.
It's like
Yeah, it's a
pineapple. I
pain in
hate
the
cutting them
neck.
up. But anyhow, this whole another. Hey, you got more
Okay.
happening here. What I'm trying to catch up to.
Okay.
Heidi, I saw your comment there, but I got to throw this in here real quick. He's over here. He's saying
That's
awesome about the
awesome.
butter and the thing. But we got to
Right?
give Heidi says something here to you. Yeah, that's about the bread. You see that there?
I believe you, Susie, about feeling good when you're doing dishes because I get such a beautiful feeling as I'm cleaning my house and then the end result with such satisfaction. Yes. You can take pleasure in doing things. There's
Oh
no
yeah,
one
yeah,
behind you, there's no one
yeah.
upstairs, there's no one annoying you, there's no one you're waiting to come home. When's the next shoe gonna drop? The eggshells, the whole 9 yards. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that from others that all of a sudden they're at peace. And,
Hmm.
me being weird, I go like,
Feels
so what do
good.
you mean by peace? And they go like, Paxton, you have
Oh, you
no
have no
idea.
idea.
Yeah, that's exactly what they tell me. I said, no, I want the idea. I'm trying to figure out how
Mm.
this whole thing works. And as Heidi's saying, and you're also emphasizing, this is information that someone needs to know if they're wondering what is life outside of the abuse. And that's what I really wanted to touch on. It's what we do here at
Yeah.
NATV, and I know you do the same on your network. That life outside of abuse needs to really be examined by those who are going through something, or maybe they have just finished a divorce of someone who beat them in an abuse and whatever the case may be. For them to really start thinking about what their life is going to be like, that's probably not really what's on their mind. They're still dealing with that person
They're
texting
surviving.
them, or you, bringing over a bottle of wine. And you're going like, what?
Oh my God.
Yeah, remember that? You're telling me that.
I don't even drink wine.
I'm never going to let that go. I'm never going to let that go. I just think that's the funniest thing. If
Insane.
there's ever a movie in your life, I can't wait to that part in the movie. It's like the ink is not even dry on the divorce, and you're coming over with a bottle of wine. Yeah. Not even lemonade, bro. Not even lemonade.
No.
But
send me your address.
Send me your address. This other, give it to him now. You can give it to him now
because now you can come. That's it.
You're not over there. But this other part of this life that you've experienced, Heidi's talking about, maybe women from the group are able to kind of start to see, and others, there's shopping that will need to be done. There's new clothes that are coming. There's different equipment. There's different things that you will acquire, different assets. Other things will start to be a part of your life. None of those things, the microphone you're sitting in front of, you and I talking, none of this was on your radar. But what's on your radar now? I'm just curious. What's on your radar now? Any idea?
I always used to try to plan things or want to do things because I could never do anything when I was with this person, right? Now I just take one day at a time. Of course I want to travel. Of course I want to do things. Now I do what I want. There's no urgency because I'm not doing something that I'm not supposed to do. Meaning I couldn't even suggest a trip, right? You can't suggest a camping trip with the grandbabies. It was a catastrophe. The tire would go flat. This would happen. But he knew it needed air. It was almost like they set it up for failure. Just to stress the whole family out. So now it's just I just take one day at a time.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Okay. I have to ask you this. Real Deal Prime, I'm going to get to your thought here in just a second and the rest of the comments in the chat. But you said the urgency that there's this, you never got a chance to slow down, as it were, and make a choice, make a decision, examine your choices. The normal human being things we do. Was there always this sense of urgency? He created an atmosphere of urgency?
Even if he wasn't home, there was a problem.
I'm sorry. I really find this fascinating. I am so glad I started this channel. I'm always intrigued by that. Even if he wasn't home.
Yes. And I have to say something, that it's just recently that I'm completely out of it. Now that the divorce is final, right? I'm out. Now, you know how much I love my studio. I was terrified to leave there. I haven't even thought about that place.
Yeah. Right.
So now I'm getting to the good stuff, because now I can dissect the feelings and the emotions and what I went through and what I needed and what, like you just said, how I was always waiting, there was never peaceful moments, isn't that? Now I can actually understand just how chaotic my life was. You don't realize it when you're in it.
Wow.
See, people, even women in the group, now when I jump on the live Zooms and stuff with a facilitator and stuff, I'm listening to them and I'm thinking of things that I didn't even realize 6 months ago, 3 months ago, a year ago, because I'm so far removed from it now that I'm actually, it's like my whole nervous system is calmer. Do you remember I was telling you about the trauma brain? Dr. Mack had coined it, trauma brain.
Yeah.
I couldn't I still go to say something and I have to stop because I can tell it's still rewiring because I had the hamster wheel going for so long, because you're waiting for the next problem, the next traumatic event, the next situation, the next whatever. They never let you have peace. They don't let you sleep. They don't let you think. I wouldn't eat. I never sat down at the table. How many women out there are with an abusive man who can't sit down and eat dinner? I bet you take a toll on that and your mind will be blown. You can't sit down and eat dinner. Holidays come, you cook, you make everything, you make all their favorite foods. You cannot sit and eat.
Hmm.
Never once do I remember sitting and having a meal.
Wow. You got a question here. Real Deal Prime, RDP. RDP has a question for you. It says,
Given
given
your
your so
experiences,
go ahead, please.
cute. That's cute because a lot of people call me cute. Cute. Given your experiences, if you had small children being molded under that influence, fool, manipulative, those outside of closed doors, what would you do? Well, my situation was my children had to grow up with this. Okay. So I was younger and I didn't know any better. But when my grandchildren, um, when I started to see the effects that it was having on my grandchildren, that was another big move for me, another big wake up call. It was before the broken bones, but I started to question it. And when he knew I was getting tired of it, I was questioning it. And I know I said, I don't know. I know this you wrote this and I don't know how you would know this, but I think I had shared with you that I found this.
Mm-hmm.
I was going through my kitchen things, okay? Now, when you talk about journaling, I never realized how important journaling was or how leaving myself little random notes here and there. I used to do that a lot. And I don't know, I never thought about it. I just did it. Maybe I was in a mood or whatever and I had to get something out. And I found this the other day and it just, what he just wrote just kind of woke me up. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it kind of answers that question on what you would do when you see how it's influencing the children. So this is dated September 5th, 2019. I had written to him and I was leaving for a trip. I went on a trip to learn about like oils. I was starting to adventure out. I was trying to do things for myself. Didn't go well because I would be like punished when I got home, but he would let me do a couple things here and there. So just quickly, I'm just going to read like a paragraph. So I wrote to him and I left this on the dresser and I said, I truly hope that you are happy and at peace now that I am gone again. Because I would always take off, right? I would either sleep in a parking lot or I went to this little weekend thing to learn about essential oils. Um, I truly don't understand why you have always felt the need to continuously belittle, humiliate, and verbally attack me. I cannot tolerate seeing my grandchildren's faces while you scream at me, telling me how horrible, evil, and bad I am. I cannot continue to put on a brave face for them as I did in the past. Actually, ever since I met you in front of my own children. Me, my kids, all my friends always dare to bring other people around because we used to like stay to ourselves. We started not inviting people over. I stopped having holidays because we would be embarrassed. So the kids stopped having friends over, etc. Um, I'm just going to skip ahead a little bit. The only thing that keeps me from wanting to run away from you or die is my beautiful grandchildren. But it's becoming more difficult for me to continue to tolerate you calling me evil, a Jezebel, etc. in front of them. I cannot make excuses anymore about you being older, in pain, or having a family that caused you to be this way. Enough is enough. He would always play the victim. He had pain in his shoulders, his knees, or he grew up in a bad family or whatever. And yeah, so as I was putting all my things away in this new kitchen, I found this. And I was like, how bizarre that I kept it and I found it at this time. And here I am away from him. I did it.
Hmm. You know, it's almost as if you're corn on the cob and you've been dipped in butter.
Yeah, baby.
I have
with
to tell you
salt and
right
pepper.
now, everybody, it's all pepper. All right, we're gonna do the butter thing on the screen here because Susie's gonna make us all get warm and
Thank
fuzzy
you.
and start crying. You see, these people are sitting here talking about melted
Rub
butter
and dip
here.
with
I don't know
melted.
what
That's
is
right. Salt, pepper.
happening with you people.
That
How can I
sounds so
segue?
delicious,
How
Ducky.
can
I
I?
know. I never did it, Heidi. I'm gonna have to try it. I don't know. Where do you go
What
from
is it?
butter? Nothing's
Salt.
better than butter, baby.
There's-
Soft.
okay. I said you guys said that in that show that one time. I just started
I
laughing.
know.
Nothing's better than butter, baby.
That was
I
it,
put
Wendy.
I cut that
Was it
out and I
Wendy?
that was oh, I forgot. Anyhow, but you know what I
Melted,
mean.
half
Yeah.
rolled,
Yeah. What is
perfection.
this right
Yes.
here, man?
Yes, it has to be just a little, right? Like a little soft.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're all
You,
gonna have to go have corn on the cob
yeah,
now.
now it's on my mind. It's like, man, I just
Now do
totally
you
what is it? What he
like
says here? I'm getting corn tomorrow. Okay. We have just
take a picture
helped
and
corn
send it in? I
cells.
want to
There you go.
see.
Take a picture, send it to Susie. Give it
That's
to
it.
Susie, and Susie's
Send
gonna
me
put
the
it on the next
corn.
show. Yeah,
Absolutely.
send me the cord. Send me the cord. You know what? There's another shirt for your merch right there. This shirt. You
No.
get this a stick
Butter,
of butter.
baby. How do you
Butter,
butter
baby.
your
There you go,
corn?
baby. We're starting something, people. You better not
That's
steal this
it.
idea. I'm coming for you. What does she got here? Okay, everybody. Heidi's next here. Heidi has something that she's got on her mind here.
Heidi says, "My life can only get better." You got that right, Heidi. I
With
have a
butter. No, I'm just
beautiful
kidding. No, sorry.
house
Go
with
ahead.
butter. Everything's better with butter. Why, Heidi, when I see you, we're having corn on the
I
cob
was
and
gonna
we're
say you.
taking a picture.
Yeah. You got everybody should know how much trouble we had before the show. Heidi hijacked our green room, and then we
I
tried to
did it.
convince her to
It was
come on the
my
show, and
fault.
then she said, "No, we're gonna get you, Heidi.
She just
We're gonna get
went,
you on the show." Go ahead. She was like, "No,
"That's it."
Paxton. No, go ahead.
No.
You were gonna say
Okay.
more of more Heidi.
Heidi says, "My life can only get better. I have a beautiful house, 2.5 acres. I maintain everything and the lawn. I trim the hedges and do everything myself." Yes. And Heidi does not live far from Dr. Mac.
Ooh,
So our plan is I'm going
oh,
to come
wow,
over to visit. And she has chickens. Can't
wow,
wait. Yeah.
yep. I grew up
So,
with
and I
chickens.
met Heidi through the women's group. So it's such a great
Nice.
community, right? Once you
Yes.
start
Yeah.
healing,
Yeah.
I didn't have like friends. I couldn't have friends over. You can't have family over when you're with an unhealthy person.
Yeah.
Look
Yeah.
at the whole world opens up. So we're gonna
Yeah.
have corn on the cob, Heidi. It's hard for women to start for.
We need, you know
Oh
what? We need
my God.
hats. We need hats with corn and butter. I gotta talk to Brianna. She gotta get us. You should make us some hats like that or a shirt, and we do a show like
But I
that.
don't want mine melted. I
You know,
want my
she wants some of that
ice
residue butter
stick.
on there. Nice,
I
yeah.
want it. Yeah, the one I use for my toast. I'll keep my own stick. You all can have your own. I know I'm weird
Yeah.
like that.
No comment.
Okay. Heidi says, Heidi says it's hard for women to start over when we depend on our partner. Heidi, I cannot tell you how much I agree with that. I wasn't allowed to go to school. I wasn't allowed to go to work. I had a career. I had to stop. I had to give up my daycare, everything. I wasn't allowed to do anything. So I know it's so hard. So hard. They traumatize us. They terrorize us. We can't make it without them. We can't do anything without them. You become a target of their unregulated emotions towards other people, things. Real Deal Prime says. It doesn't belong to you. No, it doesn't. But we become so consumed. I became so consumed in his life, his people, his things. I lost my identity. I was a shell of a human being. It was all about him. And I think I said that before. I had to listen to his music. I had to like what he liked. I couldn't have my own
Oh, wow.
personality.
It's
Oh
just
my gosh.
it's
It's
just a
just like,
lot
I
for
think
my
I gotta write
head
it
to
to stop
process.
you.
That is just like wow.
But
It's crazy.
imagine how I feel now, because now I'm thinking like
Crazy.
you, but that was my life.
Yeah, that's the
So
other part that I look at. I'm going
it's
like
like,
that's like you woke up every
what the
day
heck?
and that's the thing that you had as a pattern of existing. It was your lifestyle. But there
See,
are
but they don't
individuals that have no idea or understanding of what you're talking about right now.
see. If you would have asked me this 6 months ago, a year ago, when we first met, I wouldn't understand what I'm speaking of now. There's
Well,
no. This
if I had
is
never done the show, I would have never had any idea
right.
that people were living like this.
Well, this is why on SCTV is I want to talk about all of these things that come, like I keep saying,
Mm-hmm.
what's
Mm-hmm.
next? Okay, you find out, you Google, start looking up their personality. Why am I unhappy? What they, okay, you could figure it all out. But what do you do about it? How do you heal it? How do
That's
you
the
fix
part.
it?
Yeah, there you go. What's the next step? Or you sent me something the other day.
Mhm.
No more. I think you said. I think am I saying
Yeah.
that right? I think it was something like that. No more this, no more that, no more that.
Mhm.
You finally got to that point where you feel
Right.
I'm not tolerating
Enough.
this, like you just touched on earlier, the disrespect and a number of other things. But often it's what's next. I know we receive that. People send us
Mhm.
stuff for the past 5 years. Okay, this is kind of where I am, Paxton. I've watched every narcissist video and everybody, I respect them, I love them, but I feel I need to move beyond them, but I have no idea what is next.
Right. It just stops. It's just
Yeah,
like,
that's
okay,
kind
you're
of the
out of
way
it.
I'm getting it. Yeah,
Now
people
what?
are kind of like, okay, that's over this, that had that sign, this is done, I sold the house. But what's next, Paxton, for me? Because as one person said, they went back watching the same program that he watched, but
Mhm.
they know they never liked the program. They
Right.
had to like somebody help them to make them stop watching it because they're doing it out of habit. They
Yes.
didn't want to live out of habit in a from the abuser
It's
anymore.
comfort. It's our comfort zone. We don't
Interesting.
know anything
Fascinating.
else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't know anything. Yeah. That's kind of the
Yeah.
way it came across. What do you got there? Yeah, it's
You be
Heidi's.
I'm sorry.
Did
Okay,
we?
tomorrow I'll
Yeah.
get the corn on the cob and the butter I
Okay.
have. I'll make lunch. Sounds
Uh,
good, girl.
you better
That's
go take
right.
her up on that because
Oh, I am.
yeah,
I'm gonna take pictures
you're gonna need to be ready for Friday. And why is Friday so important? Is
because it's
because you're going to wear a gown. Correct me if I'm saying it wrong. Did you go shopping yet or no?
might
You
not be
still
a gown.
you're going
So
to okay, I
I'm a
didn't
kind of
know.
a
I wasn't
last minute type of thing, but it's a dress. I wasn't going to wear a dress. It is a dress.
okay. All
My
right. All
aunt
right.
and Dr. Mac, my godmother and Dr. Mac are like, "Are you sure you don't want to wear a pantsuit? Are you sure?" I'm like, "Nope, I'm going with the
Okay,
dress."
I have to get my hand in the camera. I have to admit, I was going to tell you that last week and a week or yeah, it was last week, whatever. We had
I don't
talked
want to be conservative.
and I was going to say, you sure you didn't want to go, pants because then you could do whatever,
Mm,
you're like, no. Are you going to wear the Chuck Taylors? That's the only
I'm
question
gonna
I want to
bring
ask
them.
on the whole you're
No,
going to
my aunt
bring
will
them.
not let me in the door with them. She will not.
Just
She's one tough
asking,
cookie.
just
She'll be like,
asking.
"Nope."
I just wondered if
Would
you
I
were going
like
to
to?
I
Yes,
know you
but
would. Yes, I know you would, but I was just
no.
wondering.
I actually
Um
bought shoes today,
Is there a
which was exciting.
possibility we could get a picture of you with them on outside
Heck
of the
yes,
event? Okay, because
absolutely.
I'm thinking about using it as a promo picture for some other stuff we're going to do
Okay.
in the future this year. But anyhow, so that's our show, everybody. So we
Yeah,
improvised for an hour and 30 of them. I'm truly old. I'm squinting and everything. The things
hour and
is a
30 minutes.
big
I
old
don't know. I
screen in
can
front of me.
see today. It's
And
weird.
hey, what is up with that? You're
I
away
don't
from the
know.
abuser, and now your eyesight is good.
Go
There it
figure.
is. That's what it is.
Another
That's what it
blessing.
is. That's
Everything
what
gets
it
better.
is.
You don't
Everything.
even need the butter. Just get
Oh
away
wait,
from the
hey, no, watch.
abuser.
Hey, watch
You
that.
got it. All right. You
That's
need the
yeah,
butter.
yeah.
All
You
right.
need
All
the
right. All
butter.
right.
Come on,
Need the butter.
don't be saying things like that. No, you got to have the butter.
All right. I'm not just all the butter.
Yeah, don't start no trouble.
We'll
Unless
get
the
rid of the
doctor tells
abuser
you
person, but the butter stays.
the butter's got to stay. All right, everybody. I'm yelling into the mic because I can, because it's my free TV. All right, I'm going to put something on because I'm going to say goodbye to everybody here. What I got going on here. Let me push the button over here. We do that right there. Oh, push another button. All right, so you're ready for Friday, kind of. Not exactly, but
Yes.
okay. All right, so you
I'll
are.
be ready.
No
So
pressure.
excited.
No
I'm going to take
pressure.
tons of pictures.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah.
And
You're
I'm
going to
excited to
network.
get
You're going to
dressed up and
network.
look
You're going to
pretty and
talk.
get my
Yeah.
hair done. To me, that's a big deal.
I love it all.
I know.
So if anybody
Yes, network.
is there with you and they got nothing exciting to do, they can take some B-roll type shots and video, different
Absolutely.
pictures, and we can put a photo gallery together of this event. This is huge.
No, it's a big
We're
deal.
all
I mean,
excited for
did
you
you
over
see?
here. So
Did you see some of the auction items?
yeah,
Like,
the thing you just sent me.
there's-
Yeah. I was
Yeah,
looking
I
at
mean,
some of
it's
that.
it's
Yeah.
a
Quite
yeah,
impressive. I'm going to try
it's
to put some of that.
impressive.
I have to ask you about some of that you sent me. I just need to know the parameters of what I got. I was going to make something, put it together, and then I'll send it to you so you can post it.
Or we could do it after. I mean,
Or,
whatever.
okay.
Yeah.
Um,
All good.
My whole thing was, like I've been saying, make sure you get your rest so you're ready for Friday. I was like, remember I told you we're not going to have any show, and then you said, hey, are we doing a show? And I was going like,
Well,
I wanted to go. I was in dad mode. I was going like, now you have an event on Friday, and you need to be. And I said, she's a grown woman, so stop it, Paxton. She knows what she's doing.
Thank you for letting me
Just
pop on.
Here we go. You got stuff on the screen here.
Thanks for your time, and I do enjoy my salt. Yes, you must put the
Yes,
salt on the
yes.
corn on the cob.
Of
And
course.
thank you for
Yes.
being here. Thank you so much.
Yes.
I enjoyed you being here. I put that on everything. And pepper, of course, pepper.
Yeah,
You know what I love? Cayenne pepper.
I love.
Oh
these-
my gosh.
do you now?
Oh, I'm spicy, baby.
Really?
Yes.
I'm
Cayenne.
surprised at that.
I take the cap off. Crushed pepper on pizza. Me and my sister
Oh my
take the cap
Lord.
off and pour it.
my God.
Oh yeah,
Oh
I'll
my
take a picture of my
goodness.
pizza one
That's
day.
a lot of pepper,
Yeah,
crushed
it's
pepper. Oh my
good.
goodness. I love pepper
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
than salt.
Cayenne's the best.
I love.
Yeah,
I've
me
gotta-
too. Same.
I've got to step out of my. I'll put pepper on just about anything if you let me. You got some love on the screen there from Heidi.
Yeah. Heidi's gonna check with Karen to see if she can get tickets. Check it out. Yeah, I don't know how all that works, Heidi, but definitely check it out. Awesome. And she'll take pictures. Yes. I'll definitely get some pictures. Have a wonderful day, evening. You too, Real Deal Prime. Thanks for being here. Enjoy
Everybody,
your corn and salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper. Salt and pepper. Thank you, Left Eye. We appreciate you being here, Left Eye. Talking to you, Susie. It's
I
your new
know.
nickname. It's your name.
Left Eye Lopez.
We appreciate everybody being here. You survived. No mascara, poking your eye out, none of that stuff. We didn't laugh and start
Good.
crying.
Nope.
She's gonna be back. She got another one here from Heidi.
Thank you both. Heidi says, had a wonderful time. Sorry for the rude interruption the first time
No,
around.
no,
Oh my
no.
gosh, that was
Not
me.
even.
I sent the wrong
No.
link, Heidi.
That was
Heidi,
not
that
rude.
was fun. You added
Yeah.
spice to the show. Thank you.
Saw us without our makeup on. That's all. You just saw us
There you
getting
go.
ready for the show. Everyone, it is always an honor to be with Suzie, Lady Cos. That's what I've been calling you that around here, Lady Cos. Oh wait, hold on a second. Wait, what's happening here? Okay, Heidi, you did not disturb us at all, even though I was trying to coerce you to be on the show. That is for you.
Maybe next time.
Heidi. And I got to do this one here. This is for Real Deal Prime as well. Appreciate it. Big time. And everybody else that has got a chance to pass through. But at this moment in time, this is for Alexa.
Alexa! Oh, Alexa, love you.
What? Wouldn't let her comment. What? We're going to.
That's weird. Great show as always. Oh, Alexa's got some great news. You know what, Alexa? I'm gonna wait till you come over on SZTV
There you
so
go.
you can
That's
let
the one.
everyone know
Yep.
what you're doing
There you go.
because it's pretty exciting.
There you go. There we go. Okay,
Yeah.
so everybody, we're heading out. Please go over to SZTV Network. SZTV Network, baby. And please subscribe. Show some love so that she can continue to discuss what is important to Suzie. That's making sure that every person, man or woman, that is dealing with abuse is heard, seen, and more importantly, they recover. We appreciate everyone that has come through. We got another comment there from Alexa.
Can you give a sneak peek about your big event Friday? Do you mean like what I'm wearing?
In the chat
or
was going to
something?
say it. Okay. I tried to get her, Alexa.
I don't have anything. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to wear my hat, but I would if I could.
No Chuck
Yeah, I
Taylors,
don't
no
have
hat.
no Chuck Taylor,
But
only a quick photo, but
at
it's
the
going to
end of
be
the
good.
evening, is there a possibility we could get a picture of you with
Absolutely.
your hat and your Chuck
Heck
Taylors?
yes.
Yeah,
Of
that's a
course.
promo pic right there. Along, of course,
Yes.
with the you no doubt got some really nice, good looking shoes for yourself. You said today, I think that's what you said.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep, yep.
yeah,
I'm so excited.
yeah, yeah.
So it's a big deal for me. I mean, people that know me know I don't dress up often. So I'm excited. It's going to be great.
This is good. All I can do is smile
Yeah,
because I'm really happy for you.
I
I'm
know,
so
me
happy for you.
too. I'm so
This is so
excited.
good. What is that? What'd she say?
What are you doing for the State Friday? Big event, amazing. Alexa, I have been asked to share my story for the Women's Center. It's actually the Center for Enrichment and Empowerment for the state of Connecticut. They came to the hospital when my bones were broken. So I started therapy groups with them for sexual assaults, went through my childhood assaults and then the domestic violence, and they asked me to share my story, and then they came up to my studio apartment and they videoed and I did an interview, and yeah, it's really exciting. It's a big event. It's statewide. Yeah, it's a big deal. Big deal. I will share pictures and the video and all that good stuff.
There are moments in time that cannot be repeated. This will be the first time you're doing this. It will not be repeated because the first time only comes once, and this is special. And we feel uniquely privileged to meet a special person like you, and I'm glad you reached out to us originally. I'm glad that you were kind enough to say yes to the invitation to come on the show. But more importantly, I'm glad we're working together for the same cause and helping others. Man, she got, did we get this one here?
Yeah.
She asked that.
Will it be live streamed? I don't believe so. But I do get a copy of the video. Congratulations. We're so proud of you. Thank you so much. It's an honor. It's an honor and a privilege, and I've just begun. I have just begun.
I love it.
Just
I
wait.
love it. I love
I
it. I love
mean,
hearing
I
people say
cannot
that.
wait to meet all the people. I'm going to be meeting all the mayors from all the towns. There's like 200, 159, 60 some odd towns in the state of Connecticut, and there'll be a representative from each town. Yeah, it's going to be a really, like, I don't even know, Paxton. I'm so
She has
excited.
no idea, people,
I
what
have
she's
no
stepping
words.
into. But whatever it is, she's
I
courageous because
do.
what you just left behind was worse than where you're headed. So this is a
But
piece of
guess
cake.
what?
Piece of cake for you.
That
Piece of cake.
put
There it
me
is.
in this position in order to help others. So be it. If that's what I had to go through, that's what I had to do. And I
There it
survived
is.
it.
Bark, 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 bark. All right, everybody. We're going to I'm gonna chat with you a little bit when we're done here. Hey, you got another one here.
Keep it going. The movement is behind you. Yes. I'm so excited. Thank you. Thank you all for your support, for your encouragement, for everyone that always shows up. I couldn't have done it without everyone's support. Whatever happened to you happened for you. Absolutely, Alexa. That is right. Victim to victor. Absolutely. And now I
If
can help others blazing the trail.
And if you are wondering, let's let you know this much. This will be an ongoing series with Suzie, V to V, Victim to Victor. You will catch it on her network. And when we are able to work together, she will come over and share her thoughts on this ongoing series and everything that she's learning. Everybody, please, thank you so much for everything. I'm going to put something up for everybody. V to V, everybody. You
Love
don't
it.
have to stay as a victim of an abuser. Please make sure you support Suzie and her channel, SZTV Network, and V to V. Get your coffee mug, get your shirt from Suzie. Make sure you get your hat and all that kind of stuff to support her and keep her going. She's a really hard worker who has who has risen above it. A number of challenges. Everybody, here comes a video. I'm thrilled for you this week.
Thank you.
I have been thrilled. Well, the first time you told me, was that a couple of months ago? The first time you told me, I'm so happy for you. Everyone, please continue to come back here to us at NATV Network after you've checked everywhere else. But make sure you spend some time on Suzie's network. Start there first before you check out any other videos for raw, real conversations on recovery. So if you want a raw, real conversation on recovery, this is not somebody who's just trying to sell you a book or anything like that. She literally is going to tell you the lived experience and some tips and tools for your emotional toolbox. My friend, let's see what I got over here. I got something to play for everybody, and let's get to it. Hang in there, Suzie. You and I are still be up. Our audio will be in, and let's go over here and do this first, everybody. Let's go here, and we're going to do that. And hey, let's do this. All right. So, Suzie, are you ready for this? You may be muted, by the way. Sorry about that. I forgot to tell you ahead of time. You have to unmute yourself. I forgot. So, Suzie,
yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. All right. So here we go.
I think. I never know with you.
We're still going to get Alexa on the show, right? At some point, maybe.
Yes.
If she can fit us in, she's a busy woman.
She's getting very busy. Can't wait to share what she's up to.
We tried to kidnap, Heidi, but I'm gonna have to
get her on.
Yeah, get Heidi on your show. That'd be good.
I'll make some corn, get some butter.
Hey,
little bribery never hurt.
Yeah, we get it.
No, she'll catch it.
We should have a corn show.
There you go.
We have, corn on the cob.
Corn on the cob. How about corn? What is it? Corn casserole?
Corn casserole?
Is it corn casserole?
You get
I don't know, cornbread. Oh my gosh, if you make really good corn, in the skillet with the real corn. The melted butter.
You know what? Butter sales are going to go up in your part of the world and mine. Because
that's right.
I want nothing but a cornucopia. Oh, I had to throw that in. Of stuff now. Bunch of corn everywhere.
And I'm up here in farm country now, so we have fresh corn on the cob.
What is that like for you now? You're on the horses.
Paradise.
You love it? You love it?
Oh, I'm loving it. It's peaceful. It's paradise. It's it's just so cozy. My life is cozy.
Your life is cozy.
It is for the first time. It's like a nice warm blankie. Good stuff.
Everybody, we like you guys. We love you guys. We respect you. And make sure you don't allow someone to disrespect you. And don't give in to their energy. Stay focused. The good stuff is good. It's right around the corner. Hang in there. You got something from Alexa?
Hey, Alexa. Actually, my portion was filmed. I was interviewed and filmed, and then they came up to my studio apartment. I don't know if I'm going to be called up on the stage. It's going to be a surprise, but I'll let you know after. Yeah, it's a whole dinner. Big to do.
Okay, this is the part where we get to say goodbye to you guys. You can hang out for a moment or two. We'll be putting some stuff on the screen. I know, a loud noise there. Get you in there. Subscribe when you can. If you can't, don't worry about it. We still like you. Okay, this is where Suzie and I are going to be quiet for a moment. You guys enjoy this. I'm going to keep putting up your thoughts. We're not going anywhere, but we're going to go. So hang in there. We'll be right here somewhere. I'll put your comments up, though. And if we can answer them, we'll answer it.
Sounds good. Bye, everybody. Thanks for coming. Stay tuned, Alexa. I'll share it all. Can't wait to hear about it. I can't wait to share it. I can't wait to share it all. It's going to be great. Absolutely, Alexa. She's asking if she can see the video. Absolutely. As soon as I get my hands on it. Bye, Real Deal. Thanks for being here. Have a good night, everyone.